Okay, so let's do this real quick. We have the muscles of the trunk, a few of them. We have a trapezius. We can see the trapezius not quite well outlined. It goes from all the way up here from the EOP, and then it goes down the spinous processes of cervical spine and thoracic spine all the way down to about here, which is T12. And that's the origin. The insertion goes to the spine of the scapula, which is here, the acromion process, which is here, and then a little bit of the clavicle in the front. So this is the trapezius muscle. The next muscle group we have is the Erector Spinae, but they go all the way from down here and they reach up into the spine, into the spinous process, to the transverse process, or to the costals, the ribs. We cannot see them on here, which is, of course, to your lock. Then we turn the body around, and we have a few pieces that we can see on the front plate here. As we reach it to the side, right here, we can see the external intercostal. They go from the bottom of the upper rib to the top of the lower rib, and then they contract, they raise the rib cage up like this. And that helps in inspiration, because you make the rib cage bigger. The internal intercostals are right here next to it. They go from the bottom of the top rib, no, from the top of the bottom rib to the bottom of the top rib. And what they do when you contract them, they pull the ribs down. And so they make the chest smaller and therefore squeeze the air out of the chest cavity. So they help in exhalation. When we take all this stuff out, and everything just falls out, where we are in here, we have the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is this dome-shaped muscle right here that will be around, the attachment is going to go from the vertebra all the way to around the ribs, and then even in the front around the xiphoid process. So it reaches around here and it anchors into a central tendon. And when we contract, it reaches down and pulls down this area here, and that inflates the lungs. Does that make sense? Then we have, when we look at the, let's take these organs out of the way. Then we have the front here, and we can, oopsies. This tendinous inscription here, this tendon is called the Linea Alba. The muscle that we want to see here are, on this side, we have a muscle that goes in this direction, which is kind of like you putting your hands in your pocket. That's the external abdominal oblique. Then over here on this side, you can see the hip a little bit, the pelvis here at the front. And look at the muscle fiber, that goes this way. It's a little hard to put the hand in the pocket that way. That's the internal abdominal oblique. And then most superficially on top, we have the Rectus Abdominus. And what we can do when we take this up, and we'll turn it around on the inside, we see a muscle that goes right transversely right around here. And that's the Transverse Abdominis muscle. That's it.